In part 2 of our 5-part series, we dive into the violent history of the feud between Yungeen Ace and Julio Foolio, two prominent figures in Jacksonville's rap scene. This bitter rivalry has left a trail of violence and tragedy over the years, deeply affecting both rappers and their communities. The feud between Yungeen Ace, born Kenyatta Bullard, and Julio Foolio, born Charles Jones, is rooted in their affiliations with rival gangs in Jacksonville. Yungeen Ace is linked to ATK, Ace's top killers, while Julio Foolio is associated with KTA, Kill Them All. This conflict has escalated over the years, resulting in multiple shootings and deaths. The rivalry began to turn deadly in May 2017 with the killing of Zion Brown, Foolio's cousin. Brown was shot and killed on Jacksonville's west side, marking a significant turning point that triggered a series of retaliatory attacks. Local residents and community leaders recall how the tension between the two groups escalated following Brown's death. The community was already on edge, but this incident marked the start of a violent cycle that would engulf Jacksonville for years to come. In June 2018, Yungeen Ace was the target of a retaliatory shooting while celebrating his brother's birthday at a Jacksonville restaurant. Ace survived after being shot 8 times, but his brother, Trayvon Bullard, and 2 friends, Royale Devon Smith Jr. and Jerkaby Dashad Groover, were killed. This tragic event intensified the animosity between ATK and KTA. In interviews, Yungeen Ace has spoken about the profound impact this shooting had on him. He described the loss of his brother and friends as a pivotal moment that hardened his resolve and fueled his music with a raw and emotional edge. The pain and trauma from this incident are evident in his tracks, which often reflect themes of loss, vengeance, and survival. The feud further escalated through music. In 2021, Yungeen Ace released Who I Smoke, a diss track that controversially sampled Vanessa Carlton's 1,000 Miles and named deceased members of Julio Foolio's crew. Foolio responded with When I See You, a diss track set to the melody of Fantasia's song, featuring audio from news coverage of Ace's brother's death. These tracks not only fueled the rivalry, but also brought it into the public eye, with millions of views on YouTube. The lyrics in both rappers' songs often contain direct threats and references to real-life incidents. Yungeen Ace's Step Harder includes the line, "Tell the ops to come outside and slide for Bibby," a direct taunt aimed at KTA following the death of KTA member Adrian Gaynor, known as Bibby. Julio Foolio's When I See You similarly references the deaths of Ace's brother and friends, highlighting the personal nature of their music. The impact of this feud extends beyond music. Jacksonville has seen a significant increase in violence attributed to the rivalry between ATK and KTA. Community members have expressed fear and frustration over the ongoing bloodshed, while law enforcement struggles to contain the violence. The sheriff's office has made several arrests related to the feud, but the cycle of retaliation continues. Social media has played a crucial role in amplifying the feud. Both Yungeen Ace and Julio Foolio frequently exchanged threats and insults online, further stoking the animosity. Posts celebrating the deaths of rivals have become common, with each side glorifying their perceived victories and mocking their losses. Videos like diss tracks and rap feuds, the Jacksonville Rap War, and feud between Yungeen Ace and Julio Foolio is being fueled by viral videos, provide detailed analyses of the ongoing conflict. These videos highlight how the feud has evolved over time, driven by both real-life violence and provocative music. They underscore the tragic reality that the rivalry is not just about music, but has deep roots in gang violence. Understanding the depth of this feud requires a closer look at the gang affiliations. ATK, Ace's top killers, and KTA, Kill Them All, have been involved in a brutal power struggle for dominance in Jacksonville. This gang rivalry has been characterized by a tit-for-tat escalation, where every attack is met with a retaliatory strike, often resulting in casualties on both sides. The involvement of these gangs has turned a musical rivalry into a deadly street war. Local activists and community leaders have been vocal about the need to address the root causes of this violence. They point to systemic issues such as poverty, lack of educational opportunities, and the glorification of gang culture in media as contributing factors. Efforts to mediate between the factions have been met with limited success, as the deeply entrenched hatred and desire for retribution often overshadow peace initiatives. Other notable incidents in this feud include the 2019 drive-by shooting targeting Foolio in Houston, Texas, and the 2020 shooting that killed KTA member Adrian Gaynor, known as Bibby. These events have only deepened the enmity between the two groups. The 2020 shooting of Bibi in particular was a major flashpoint, with Yungeen Ace's subsequent songs referencing the incident and mocking KTA. Music industry experts suggest that the intense rivalry has contributed to both rappers' fame, but at a high cost. The sensationalism of their beef has attracted widespread media attention, with their diss tracks becoming viral hits. However, this has also perpetuated a cycle of violence, with each side feeling compelled to respond to the other's provocations. Experts argue that while the feud has boosted their profiles, it has also put their lives and the lives of those around them in constant danger. Social media reactions to the feud are mixed. While some fans view the rivalry as entertainment, others recognize the dangerous reality behind the music. Posts and comments often reflect the dual nature of the audience's engagement, balancing between fascination with the drama and concern for the safety of the individuals involved. The public's reaction underscores the complex interplay between entertainment and real-life consequences. The community impact of the feud is profound. Jacksonville has seen a rise in shootings and gang-related violence, with innocent bystanders sometimes caught in the crossfire. Local leaders and activists have called for peace, urging the rappers to use their influence to de-escalate the situation. Despite these efforts, the cycle of retaliation shows no signs of abating. Community programs aimed at providing alternatives to gang life are essential, but their success requires the cooperation of influential figures like Yungeen Ace and Julio Foolio. Local residents have shared their experiences living in the midst of this feud. Many have lost loved ones or have been forced to live in fear of violence spilling into their neighborhoods. The stories of these residents highlight the broader human toll of the feud, beyond the headlines and diss tracks. Their voices call for a resolution that goes beyond retribution and seeks lasting peace. The media, both social and traditional, has played a significant role in perpetuating the feud between Yungeen Ace and Julio Foolio. News outlets often highlight the most sensational aspects of their rivalry, focusing on the violence and provocative lyrics. This coverage not only brings more attention to their music, but also glamorizes the conflict, potentially influencing younger audiences to view gang violence as a path to fame. Media analysts and cultural critics argue that while the exposure can boost a rapper's career, it also reinforces negative stereotypes and perpetuates a cycle of violence. The constant coverage and online discussions can amplify tensions, as each side feels the need to respond to maintain their reputation and street credibility. Critics call for more responsible media coverage that highlights the underlying issues and promotes solutions rather than glorifying the conflict. In response to the ongoing violence, various community leaders and organizations in Jacksonville have launched initiatives aimed at mediating the conflict and promoting peace. These efforts include dialogue sessions, mentorship programs, and public awareness campaigns designed to address the root causes of gang violence. Community organizers believe that providing opportunities and support for young people is crucial. By offering alternatives to gang life, such as education and job training, we can help reduce the appeal of gangs and the associated violence. It's a long-term effort, but it's essential for the safety and well-being of our community. Some interventions have shown promise. Programs that bring together members of rival gangs for conflict resolution training have led to reduced tensions and fewer violent incidents. Community leaders emphasize the importance of sustained support and investment in these programs to achieve lasting change. The feud has taken a personal toll on both Yungeen Ace and Julio Foolio. Beyond the public persona and music, both rappers have faced immense personal losses. Friends and family members have been killed, and they themselves have been targets of violence. This ongoing conflict has shaped their music and their lives, often overshadowing their artistic achievements. Friends and family members of both rappers have spoken about the emotional and psychological impact of the feud. They describe a constant state of vigilance and fear for their loved ones' safety. Despite their success, the rappers' lives are marked by loss and the ever-present threat of violence. As the feud continues, the question remains, can there be a resolution? While the history of violence and retaliation is deep-rooted, there is hope that with continued community efforts, responsible media coverage, and a willingness from both sides to seek peace, a resolution can be achieved. The feud between Yungeen Ace and Julio Foolio has had a profound impact on Jacksonville's community and the broader rap scene. It is a story of violence and loss that shows no signs of relenting given the recent murder of Julio Foolio by Yungeen Ace in ATK. Things only seem to be getting more and more violent as time progresses. There are no signs of peace at the moment, and only time will tell if that will ever change. Thank you for joining us in this in-depth exploration of the history behind the feud between Yungeen Ace and Julio Foolio. In Part 3, we will delve into the legal battles and police investigations surrounding these incidents, shedding light on the efforts to bring justice and end the violence. For more updates on this story and other celebrity news, make sure to subscribe.